Hey everybody, Max Kevin here's Little Cutie Podcast. It's not too long. Oh, did you guys buy silver like I told you to? Remember last week I told you to buy silver? Did you do it? Well, guess what? It went down 30% yesterday. Oopsies. Yeah, yesterday was the biggest one-day decline ever of both gold and silver. Yeah, as a percentage. They've never fallen more. Which, I was expecting a pullback. It was expected, but that was kind of a lot. That was kind of a lot. They reverted back to their moving average. I mentioned last time. Even if they fell this much, they'd still be in a bull run. So they basically fell as much as possible to still be on the trend line. They fell back to their trend line, and that means silver fell 30% in one day. Oopsies. Oopsie poopsies. Let's see. It went from, the highest it was 118 and the lowest it went was $74. That's what, 25 plus 18. That's, can't do math. It's what, $43? $43 it fluctuated. Remember silver used to be $43. Now it's moving $43 in one day. Oops. Anyway. Of course, on Thursday, both gold and silver hit an all-time high. They hit an all-time high, and then they dumped. They took a diarrhea dump. Let's see. Gold hit 5,598. 5,598 on Thursday, and then after it hit that, it dumped to 5,100. So it dumped almost $500. One day, and then recovered. It recovered, went back to 5,400. So it dumped $500, then it went back up $300. And then yesterday, it took a giant diarrhea dump. It dumped from 5,400 to 4,700. So $700. It dumped $700 yesterday, from the high to the low. And then it ended up closing. Where did it close? At 4,895, so then it went back up $200. But basically, it dumped back down to the bottom of the trend line there. Silver actually went a little below the trend line, and it closed at the trend line. So, anywho, it was expected, but usually figure corrections take like a week or two, not just like one day. Or in the case of silver, it was like 1 hour. It was like 2 hours. Oh, anyway, on Thursdays, gold dumped, almost $400 in 1 hour. Oopsies. Yeah, a lot of people think there's shenanigans going on. I don't know if you guys heard of shenanigans. Yeah, so basically everyone's saying it's because, Trump nominated this new Fed chairman, and he's not gonna, I guess, the narrative they're trying to push is he's not going to lower rates. But, does anyone actually believe that? All Trump's been saying is he wants people to lower rates. And you think the guy he nominates, he's not going to, talk to him beforehand? So this guy, back in the day, he was very, when he was a non-voting member, he was very, he was saying that we should raise rates and printing money is a bad idea, Back when he was allowed to say that, But now that he's part of the mafia there, I don't think it matters what he said, It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change. Right now, America, they can't raise rates because of the debt, right? America's paying $1 trillion in interest payments right now. Basically, everyone says the military is too big. Well, we're paying the same budget for the military in interest payments on the debt. And that's why we can't raise rates. That's why Japan can't raise rates, because the debt's too high, right? So it doesn't matter who they nominate. They can't, if they raise rates, they're going to bankrupt the government, So they're definitely going to cut rates. So that, I think they're just trying to push that narrative. They're making gold and silver tumble at the same time they announce that guy's nomination. Just to create a narrative. The global banking mafia wants to create a narrative. They want to create a little narrative, That's what life's about, creating narratives online. Of course, the London Metal Exchange, which I don't know if you got a couple, maybe two, I forget, 2 or 3 years back, they defaulted on nickel. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Nickel went up like 100% in one day because they didn't have it. They didn't have it, so they had to, basically they told the guy, they told the people holding nickel contracts, like, hey, we can't deliver your nickel. Hey, how about we give you double the price? And they're like, okay, I'll take that. So then, like, nickel went up 100% for a day. Well, actually, it was like a week or two or something. Anyway, so the London Metal Exchange, they're the second biggest. COMEX is the biggest. London Metal Exchange is the second biggest one. And, yeah, they said yesterday during trading, there was a technical glitch. So people couldn't trade. There was like an hour you weren't allowed to trade. And then as soon as the technical glitch stopped, silver just took a diarrhea dump. And it just so happens that yesterday was the delivery date. So like whatever price that silver closed at yesterday, that's the price they have to deliver their physical silver at. So I kind of have a feeling they didn't have it. They didn't have the silver, and they didn't want to lose hundreds of billions of dollars. So they did some shenanigans. They made some calls. They made some calls to their friends in the global banking mafia. They're like, all right, well, we don't... Remember how last month... Remember how at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of January, silver was... Let's see what it was. January 1st. Remember how at the beginning of January, silver was $72? And now it's $120. It went up $50 this month. Yeah, we don't have the silver. We can't. We need the price to go down to like at least 85 in order to not go bankrupt here. That would be nice. Let's do some shenanigans. Anywho, nothing's changed. I mean, just, the price is corrected. But, yeah. I told you last week to buy silver, but now it's even better. Now it's even better because now it's at the bottom of the trend. So right now is the best time to load up. Get juiced to the gills with gold and silver. Oh, you guys take Trinovar? Oh, you guys take D-ball? You want to get big? You take HGH, not me, dude. I take what's it called? Colloidal silver. I drink colloidal silver and it turns me purple, so I look like a Smurf. You guys ever see that guy? He drank colloidal silver and then he turned into a Smurf. Yeah, silver's antibacterial, So, back in the day, the snake oil salesmen were saying you should drink silver, and there's this guy who kind of went crazy and he believed it, so he just drank a lot of silver, and it made his skin turn purple. He looked like a Smurf. Anyway, you can Google him. Just look. Don't drink silver, kids. It's good for silverware, but don't drink it. You need iron, but don't start chewing on your car exhaust, all right? You need some iron in your diet, but that doesn't mean you can eat your car. I guess that's it for the hot gold and silver talk. I was hoping Bitcoin would take a dump too, but it's still pretty low. It's like 82,000 here. I can't wait for the day Bitcoin just crashes. Oh, I'll be so happy. I hope it just happens in one day. It just goes down to like 10,000. Oh, that'd be so funny. It probably will. It probably will because Michael Saylor's running out of money. Anywho, let's see. Is there anything else I can say about the hot gold and silver talk? The hot gold and silver talk. Nah. Just load it up. I don't see it. I guess, let's see. If we look at the trend line. Yeah, silver could go back down to like 70. And gold could go back down to 4,400, 4,500, around there. But I don't know if it will. We'll see what happens on Monday. I predict Monday it'll either rebound a lot or it'll dump a lot. I don't know. I think Friday was a one-off thing. Anyway, that's enough hot gold and silver talk. Catherine O'Hara. If you don't know who I'm talking about, the mom from Home Alone, she's dead. Remember her? She was a really bad parent in that movie. She can't even keep. She doesn't. The Child Protective Services probably should have taken away her kids because she's a bad drunk mom, and she forgot her kid twice. She went on vacation. She forgot her kid twice. Anyway, she's dead. That was the big news today. Remember her in Home Alone? Remember Home Alone? Remember Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin? Remember Macaulay Culkin? Should we talk about hot UFC? Hot UFC talk? Hot UFC talk. All right, let's look. We got UFC 325. Last week was 324. I won all my bets. Yeah, dog. Now it's 325. It's UFC 325 with a bunch of fights that no one actually wants to see. Just like UFC 324. A title fight that, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. 324, yeah. Sean O'Malley didn't look that good against Song Yadong. I think Song Yadong did pretty well. Justin Gaethje, yeah, won just like I thought he would. Gene Silva. That was a good fight. Gene Silva's on it. And I didn't get fight tonight. I can't believe. I get fight. Yeah, your best fight. Yeah, Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. That was a good fight. Just to watch Paddy Pimblett. Man, it looked like he was going to get knocked out in the first round there. And he had this look on his face like he'd never experienced that type of pain. Or like, he'd never experienced like. I mean, he didn't get knocked out, but he probably had some new experiences there, Getting his face bashed in. Of course, Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen. That was a good fight, too. Those guys were swanging and banging. Anywho, it's UFC 325. We got Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego. Make it dreams, believes, make it happen. Lopez. Of course, I bet on Lopez last year, and he lost. And I think I'm going to bet on him again. Let's look at the odds. I think I'm going to bet on him again. Yep, he's the underdog. I'm going to bet on him $10. He's plus 130. Of course, Volk did beat him last time, but that was a year ago. And now Volk is 37. And Volk's strategy is basically all about speed and timing. And that's the first thing you lose as you get older. And in that first fight, Diego almost knocked him out there. There was a second there. He knocked him down. And Diego's in his prime. I think Volk he's definitely a much better martial artist, but I think it's just the age. I just think the age is making him just a little bit slower. And Diego is just as good as he's always been, I mean, he's probably not. I'm sure he's getting a little better, but I think it's just he's got the knockout power there. I think Volk's just too old, man. It's just a year later. God, I would have really loved to see Volk versus Movsar, who's a wrestler. We could have seen him versus a wrestler or versus Lerone Murphy or someone that he hadn't fought before. That would have been much better for his legacy. Like, God, if he loses this fight, it's gonna do nothing for his legacy. What's the point? Dana Point, what's your point? Oh, hey, that reminds me. In the Super Bowl, right? It's going to be Seahawks Patriots, and I just learned about this guy Darnold for the Seahawks. He's from Dana Point. He's from my hometown. Dana Point, what's your point? Of course, he didn't go to my high school. He went to San Clemente like a little bitch. I don't know if he's from Dana Point. Why did he go to San Clemente? That didn't make any sense. I didn't understand that. It was Wikipedia. I don't know if he might actually, he might have lived closer to San Clemente because it made no sense. It makes no sense that he would go to San Clemente High School if he's from Dana Point. He would definitely go to Dana Hills High School. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the San Clemente High School team had a better football program. That's why he wanted to go there. Anyway, he's from my hometown, so I'm a fan now. He's my boy. I'm rooting for the Seahawks. Let's go, Darnold. You're my boy. Anyway, this guy, I didn't know his whole story. I looked him up on the Wikipedia there. So he was playing for like the Jets or something, and like, yeah, they drafted him, and then he wasn't very good for a couple of years, and so he got traded to he went to the Jets, and then he went somewhere else, and then he went to the 49ers. He was the backup for the 49ers. And then it says on his Wikipedia that during that year when he was backup for the 49ers, the coaches kind of changed his game there. And Brock Purdy, the manliest man, the man with the manliest name, Brock Purdy, taught him how to be a better quarterback there. And then they traded him to the Vikings. And then he had his best year ever for the Vikings. And then he lost the playoff game. So the Vikings released him, right? Even though they were 14-3 last year, and he had his best year ever, and they lost the playoff game, but he got sacked 9 times in the playoff game. So I don't know if it was his fault or there was just no offensive line there. So anyway, the Seahawks pick him up, and now they're going to the Super Bowl, and everyone online's like, I agree. They're like, hey, Vikings, idiots. Idiot. He had his best year ever. It was 14-3 record. So what if he lost a playoff game? He got sacked 9 times. Probably not his fault. It's hard to win a game when you get sacked 9 times. 9 times. So anyway, good luck to the Seahawks. I still hate Tom Brady, so I can't be rooting for the Patriots. Even though he's not on the, what's Drake May? Drake May? Yeah, both these guys are new, new blood. We got new blood. Old blood, see you later. No Patrick Mahomes, see you later. No, what's his name? I don't know. Any of the other teams, see you later. Okay, let's go back to the UFC. Then we got Dan the Prostitute Hooker. Okay, Dan Hooker, I saw this on the internets there. In Paramount Plus Italy, they translated his name wrong. So on the Italian website, his name is Dan Prostitute. They just literally translated his name. Well, why? You're not supposed to translate names anyway. I guess the AI did it. They just translated his name to Dan Prostitute. That's. Anyway, we got Dan the Prostitute Hooker versus Benoit. I'm French. French Special Forces, Saint Denis. Of course, Dan Hooker, he's kind of got CTE. And he's 35. Benoit Saint Denis, 30 years old. And although Saint Denis is not very good, he has been looking a little better in his last couple of fights. He hasn't been looking terrible. He looks like he got out-wrestled by Money Moicano. And since then, he's been wrestling a lot more, And I think that most of the problem with Saint Denis is his cardio is just not that good. And okay, Dan Hooker's plus 300. Man, I might bet on Dan Hooker here. You can't count him out. Plus 300. Dan Hooker's not that terrible. I mean, he does have CTE and he does have terrible tattoos, but man, plus 300, that's disrespectful, dude. I mean, he lost to Arman Tsarukyan, but it's because Arman Tsarukyan should be fighting for the championship here. I think I'm going to put $10 on Dan the Prostitute Hooker. Dan, an Italian, literally prostitute hooker. $10. All right, then what else we got? We got Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Ruffi. This should be a good fight, too, because both these guys don't wrestle at all. They just swang and bang. Of course, Fiziev, he's famous for gassing out after the first round. He goes all out in the first round, and then he doesn't do enough EPO. So if he doesn't win in the first round, he loses. And, of course, Ruffi has no wrestling at all. But he's part of the Fighting Nerds. Yeah, I think Ruffi. Yeah, both these guys are they'll never be champion. Both these guys will never be champion. Even though the lightweight division kind of sucks right now. I don't think these guys will ever be champion. The lightweight is the weakest it's ever been. There's Max Holloway, there's Arman Tsarukyan, and there's what's his face, the champion, Ilia Topuria, and that's it. Everybody else kind of sucks or is way too old. Anyway, then we got Tai Tuivasa. Tai's back. Tai's back from drinking beer. He hasn't fought in what, it was 2 years? It's been 2 years? Yeah, his last fight was August. August 24. This was his last fight. He doesn't train for fights. He just drinks beers. Man, Tai Tuivasa is only 32 years old. I wonder if he's... Tai has so much potential, but he just, instead of training, he just drinks beers, you know, so maybe he'll never be champion. But his boxing is on point, you know. He's fighting Talison Teixeira, who is not very good. I remember this guy. He did not impress me, even though he did beat Justin Tafa. Let's see, what are the odds here? Tai Tuivasa is plus 250. I'm betting on Tai Tuivasa. Do it. I hope you weren't drinking too many beers. I'm betting on you, Tai Tuivasa. I guess that's the only... There's even no one even to talk... Those are the only names on this. JB Malarkey's fighting on the main card? Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. God, the prelims kind of suck, too. Junior Tafa, you suck. Cody Brundage, well, I like you, but you kind of suck. The early prelims. We got a new guy, new fan favorite guy, Dom Mar Fan. That's a good name. Where's that guy from? Dom Mar Fan. Dom Mar Fan. He's from Australia. His name is Dom Mar Fan. That's like a Vietnamese name, but he's from Australia. I don't know. Maybe he's a Vietnamese Australian. He does kind of look a little Asian. I don't know. Dom Mar Fan versus Kim Sang-wook. Oh, we got a Japanese guy, Keiichiro Nakamura. I never heard of him. We got a bunch of no names on this card here. Where is this? There's a bunch of Asians on this one. Where's this card taking place here? Is it in Las Vegas? I don't even know. Oh, it's in Australia. That's right. That's why there's Asian guys on the card. It's in Australia. It's in Australia. Yeah, dude, I'm betting on two of the hometown favorites, Tai Tuivasa and Dan Hooker. Let's do it. Hometown favorite. All right, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow.